From the Burundian creative culture, more particularly Burundian painting, were born several Burundian painters who, until today, continue to shine in their art. At the origin of magnificent works of art and exhibitions at the French Institute of Bujumbura and in the Burundian Gallery 257 Arts and elsewhere, these artists have everything to conquer the whole world. What is the story of their love at first sight with art? How did they know they were meant for each other? What are their ambitions? Well, make yourself comfortable and stay with us until the end of this video because we are going to tell you all about Burundian artists whose works you probably know. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and turn on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new video. Let's get into it. Skullboy the Special. Skullboy, with his real name KEVIN-ANTOINE NIBARUTA, is a 22-year-old visual artist from Burundi, currently living in China for his university studies. The eldest son of a family of 3, he was born in Tanzania but grew up in Bujumbura, where he arrived at a very young age. Having discovered the drawing very young, Skullboy liked to produce the characters of cartoons like Dragon Ball Z or others. And later he decided to devote himself to it when he met other artists upon entering high school like SHAQUILLE MUGISHA, NTIRANDEKURA, and many others who inspired him. We encouraged each other in the pursuit of our passion. My goal was to popularize an art that seemed almost absent in my surroundings. When he paints, he doesn't have a single subject or theme on which to paint. He sees drawing as a way of expressing oneself. In addition, his paintings are a reflection of his heart. He paints the people who inspire him, the things he finds interesting. I try out new forms of art to be as versatile as possible. In short, I let my heart speak and my imagination run wild. This is why all the paintings he has ever painted are all his favorites because according to him, if he doesn't like a painting, he either doesn't finish it or destroys it right after. Nevertheless, he's a big fan of Bob Marley and the portraits he makes of him touch him a lot. Skullboy has participated in many significant events and among them, there are some that remain unforgettable. The one I remember is the Korako event organized in honor of underprivileged children. That day, the Burundian singer Tetero Lorette bought one of my paintings at a very high price. That day, I felt my art was honored. What is more, I had just contributed with my art to improving the living conditions of a street child because the money was used for a charitable purpose. I really was happy that day. He's an artist who has a diversified style from graphics to illusionism through portraits. He touches everything. Among the painters whose work he admires the most, there are Pablo Picasso and Edgar Degas. They have a style that I love, he says. One of the objectives that is close to his heart is that of ensuring that African artists have the place they deserve in society. Because according to him, the art of painting is not a small profession, but rather a Pandora's box of talents to be exploited and made to benefit the world. DIVIN DARCY NDUWIMANA. Aged 22 and coming from a family of 3 children, DIVIN DARCY NDUWIMANA is a Burundian artist, illustrator, and professional designer in the art of digital drawing within SHAQUILLE. He grew up in an environment which made him discover the artistic world, where the word impossible did not exist because according to him, by the reason of not having the things that we want, we just create them our own way, and this is what made him love this art, which has today become his profession. In elementary school, like all children of his generation, he did little drawing competitions with his classmates. I remember that it even happened that the teacher would catch us drawing the covers of our favorite players behind the notebook, but also sometimes my mother would get angry because I kept asking her to buy me a new notebook for drawing and she thought that would prevent me from following in class. At that time, it was difficult for him to leave his art because neither his parents nor the others saw no future in the drawing. And moreover, DIVIN did not have a mentor, but despite this, he was able to continue to do research on the internet to see how other artists came to make hyper-realistic drawings, and he was thirsty to know them. One day, I came across a Spanish designer called Charles Laveso. I was moved to see someone who can draw a drawing with meticulously well-done details. And that's when I thought, why can't I? I can do it too. It is from this day that DARCY began his career as a designer. In 2016, after meeting the artist SHAQUILLE MUGISHA, founder of SHAQUILLE, he joined the collective of young artists within SHAQUILLE and trained there on certain new techniques. And sometime later, DARCY also began to train other young people, taught them in clubs of different schools, and participated in advertising campaigns by doing live drawings like live paintings in events, in TV shows, etc. It was in 2018 that DIVIN began the second part of art, that of digital drawing. Thanks to this art, he saw that he could fulfill the dream he had had since his childhood, that of making comics, cartoons, and animations. But his biggest dream today is that of to make SHAQUILLE a great production house of comics and animations at a national and international level. OLEG Dave. NTWARI OLEG Steve is a Burundian artist practicing visual art using pencil and pen for his artistic creations. Since his childhood, he liked to draw on the ground and on the walls of houses. He used most of the times charcoal strands or wooden rods, and he found pleasure in reproducing the body of a person, the faces, comics, or even martial art figures as he saw them. Indeed, his passion for drawing started when he was in secondary year primary until 6th year. At that time, he was content with just dancing and graffiti, which is another art form, but it didn't last and he stopped everything. Sometime later, he took over the drawing thanks to a girl who attended the same school as him. After seeing the drawing that she had published on her Facebook account, Oleg felt inspired and subsequently started drawing again. And in 2017, he decided to make his art his job. Oleg has until today made magnificent paintings which do not go unnoticed and which are easily identifiable, thanks to the fact that his drawings are in black and white and have something of particular. For me, black and white represents dream and reality. People just see the drawing but not the details. But I want my drawings to be inspirational, for my art to awaken nostalgia within viewers, to take them into the future. His works, he loves them all, but one of them is his favorite. It is the work entitled Empathy. According to Oleg, the work in itself conveys a strong message, that of an angelic face of a Syrian child with eyes full of innocence but who lives nightmares, horrible things in this world today. Oleg's professional goal is to have an art studio and an art school, but while awaiting the achievement of his objective, he shines in his art. He made a solo exhibition at the IFB, French Institute of Burundi, in collaboration with the EU, which was for him a dream come true. But also, MHD, a French international singer, posed by holding a black hood stamped with his portrait drawing that he had done a few weeks before, and also he was able to join Afripedia, a community of African artists in the world. Also, he had his interview with The Guardian and Craft and Grit. It was an honor for him and hopes to have more in the future. Currently, Oleg Dev is working on his t-shirt project with his artwork and hopes to see his project succeed. With all that, be sure to be many to buy his t-shirts. NTIRANDEKURA. NTIRANDEKURA is a painter, designer, and at the same time practicing digital art who, from a young age, was devoted to art. Performing professional among the artists, Burundian painters and designers, It was in 2013 that Sage made art his profession. Thanks to the hard work and the support of the group to which he's part, he has produced many works, many of which have appeared in exhibitions, in particular 3 brushes in August 2018 at the French Institute of Bujumbura, the Woman Caverns in March 2020 in the Public Garden, and many others. In addition, the works he has already produced are currently in the art gallery of the Roca Golf Hotel, where they are exhibited and sold. And with regard to the sale of his works, one of the most significant moments was his participation in one of the major exhibitions organized by his group Afrodor Art, where he exhibited more than 6 works, all sold. Among his most popular works there are The Broken Beauty of a Woman, The Rebirth of Burundian Culture. Obviously, Sage has artists who inspire him, and according to him, they are great artists of revolutionary time of art such as Vasco da Gama, Van Gogh, Michel Ange, Picasso, and other great Burundian artists. As for his style, he works on portrait art in the realistic or surrealist style using a pencil and a pen. When Sage paints, he is centered on the painting of light in all its apparent forms. In addition, all the colors he uses in his works are carefully chosen. Among these colors, we can cite white, green, yellow, blue, and red. According to Sage, these are colors that represent light. With so many achievements, one would wonder what he thinks the future holds for him, but know that yes, Sage has ambitions, but he tells himself that his career has only just begun and that life still has a lot of surprises for him in store. DANY Daniel KIBAMBA. Born in Nyakabiga, DANY Daniel KIBAMBA is a painter and designer, graduated from ETSA Gitega Art School, grand winner of the competition that was organized by UNICEF on the rights of the child. He is now a member of 257 Arts, the Burundian art gallery. DANY Daniel tells us that he did not discover his field of work, but that he found himself there without knowing it. Indeed, his love story with painting lasts so little ago because he has been painting for only 3 years now. Daniel started with painting when he was in his final year at ETSA Art School. At that time, he was just interested in pen and paper. It was afterwards that he decided to make art his profession when he realized that he didn't have anything else he could do better than draw and paint. It was now part of his life. He felt connected to art. The more time passed, the more it evolved. And if Daniel is where he is today, it is thanks to one person, Chongera Novans. He was the one who showed me the first steps in painting. Thanks to him, I had this desire to get into painting. Big up to him. Paintings he has done a lot, and all are his favorites because according to him, each painting has a specific message and inspiration comes as if by chance. It is by developing his ideas that he falls in love with his works even before painting them. As for his technique, Daniel mixes both realism and impressionism. His subjects and ideas change over time, but this year he's working on the theme of life, which will also be the theme of his exhibition in September 2020. In addition, Daniel is an artist who evolves by drawing inspiration from other artists such as Omar Otse, Nick Sider, and Very Apriatno. And also, he does a lot of research, observes, and studies. Besides his passion, he has a social life and time for himself. He is an artist with dreams, ambitions, and of course, who has a great future ahead of him. SHAQUILLE MUGISHA. The eldest of a family of 2, SHAQUILLE MUGISHA is a digital artist who made his debut at the age of 6 making drawings of heroes from the Walt Disney Animation Studio. As a child, SHAQUILLE dreamed of making small animations, producing comics and small booklets for Burundian children so that they could acquire local comics and cartoons. And today, his dream has come true. Designing since the age of 6, it was at 14 that he decided to make his passion his profession. His beginnings in drawing began with pencil and then painting, then digital. Besides, he practices most of the time, more precisely, cartoon. His themes are focused on communication and education health. In 2015, he won the Best Artist Award from the Academy of Talents, and it is a moment that has stood out for him so far. In 2016, after having wanted to share his know-how with his brothers and sisters who wanted to deepen their knowledge in the field of art, SHAQUILLE created SHAQUILLE, a collective of young artists. Among his works of art, his favorite is a work of a mother holding her child in her arms, showing the affection a mother has for her child, which he realized during a vernissage that SHAQUILLE had organized under the theme of Women's Euphoric Art. The purpose of this work was to remind everyone that a mother is someone to be honored and respected. Like so many other artists, SHAQUILLE also has great personalities who have influenced him a lot, notably Walter Elias Disney, Steve Jobs, and Pablo Ruiz Picasso. His professional objective is to inform and educate the Burundian population through his products, including to encourage children to read and learn languages and to insist on gender equality. He's an artist who set goals and accomplished them, who once had a dream and made it come true. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please give us a like and a comment in the comments section below. Bless.